Welcome to the fundamentals. In this topic, we'll be talking about exporting and importing projects. Schedules that are created in pieces can be exported and saved as a file in a different device other than the Primavera database. That is, it can be saved in your computer hard drive, desktop, or other external devices, like your flash drives. Saving the schedules in all of the above stated means can be very useful for the following. 1. It enables you to send them as attachments via email to other stakeholders. And secondly, it can also serve as a saving mechanism as backup in case your system malfunction or in case of system failures. Sometimes your computer may crash, and when that happens, you might lose everything you have on your system. But if you have it saved in an external device, then you can easily retrieve those projects that you have saved in pieces. As a matter of fact, sometimes Primavera, sometimes the software might have a database connection issue. And when that happens, the only option sometimes might be that you have to reinstall your Primavera pieces, and in particular for those that are using the standalone version. It happens a lot, and saving your schedules in other external drives like flash drive will help you to save all your schedule that you've worked on. At this point, we're going to go through the demonstration so that you will know how to export your schedules and save them on either your hard drive, desktop, or other external devices. This is the same project that we have been working on in the course of this series, which is our mega apartment project. At this point, we want to export these projects so that we can use it for other purposes. 1, we can send it as an attachment via email, and 2, we can have it as a backup in case the Primavera software goes down. In order for you to export any project, that project must be open. And let it be known also that you can export as many projects as possible in pieces at one time under the same file. Simply means that all the projects that you want to export or saved must be open as well. At any rate, we're going to work with this example, and the process is just simply the same. So I have my schedule already open. Now for me to start the exporting process, I'll go to the menus. In File, I click on File. Then I have to expand it all the way. So where it says Export, I click on Export. So when I click on Export, it's going to pull up the Export dialog box for me. The first thing it's going to tell you is to give you the options to decide how you want to send it. Here you have other options to send it either as a Primavera file, which is XER, or you can also send it as a spreadsheet or even as Microsoft project. But for the course of this demonstration, we're going to send it as an XAR file or save it as an XAR file. Now by default, it's going to tell you the version of PCs that you're using. So in my case, I'm using an 18.8 version, and that's what it's going to say, 18.8 version or later. So, but if you know ahead of time that perhaps you intend to send this project to someone that is having a lower version than 18.8, here you have the options to click on the drop down arrow and select whichever version the person is using. But even if you can't find the person's version, that's fine too. You can just send it the way it is in your particular version, and that person have to do what we call a step down on a notepad before he can open it in his own Microsoft project, in his own Primavera PCs. But at any rate, let's leave it the way it is, and then we click on next. The next is going to ask you for the export type. It's asking you to select the type of data to export. Are you intending to export the entire project, or you want to export just the resource only or the row only? Usually, you want to export everything, which is the entire project, and that is why it's picking that for you by default. But in other very rare situations, if that's not the case, then you can as well pick whichever option satisfies what you want to do. At this point, I'll click on next. Now it's going to say projects to export. Now this is where you're going to have all the listed projects that you want to export in case you have opened more than one project, and it's going to list all the projects that you want to export, and there's going to be check mark on every one of them. If otherwise, it simply means that those ones that has check mark on them are the ones that you're going to export. But in this case, we only have one to export, and there's just a check mark in it. That means we are good to go. So I'll click on next. Now it's telling you what is the name and the file name. Now at this point, it's also giving you the opportunity to decide where you want to save it. So at this point, I would like to save it on my desktop so that it will be easy for me to locate. Then from there, I can move it to anywhere else. It doesn't mean that you can't save it on other devices like your flash drive that you have on your system, but I just want to use the desktop as my saving point at this point. So I will click on this little box. It's going to open the save file option for me. Here I can pick my options. If I want to save it in my flash drive, which I already have in my system, that's my flash drive, my USB, I'll select that option. But like I said earlier, I want to save it on the desktop. I can easily click my desktop from here. So then you can change the name if you want to. Then it's also going to be telling you the type of the document it's going to save as. And of course, by default, it's going to save as a Primavera file, which is the XAR file. Okay, I leave that one. I leave it the name as it is, and I will click on save. Now at this point, I'll come and click finish. So when it's successfully exported, it's going to tell you that yes, the export was successful. Now I will click close. So if I go to my desktop or where I save it, I'm going to have it there on my desktop. This is my desktop, and here it is right here. This is the Primavera project that I just exported, and it's now saved in my desktop. Now, if for any reason at all, my Primavera system went down and I have to reinstall it, then this project is safe. I'm not going to lose it. I can simply import it back into the Primavera PCs by the time I finish reinstalling it. So now that we have finished demonstrating how to export it, we will now go to the second part, which is how to import it into the system or into the Primavera. Now there are several ways in which you can do this, but my most preferred way is I usually close my Primavera PCs first and even exit Primavera for me to start the importation process. So let me close this file or this project that we worked on. I will close it all, and again I can as well exit my Primavera. Now I don't have Primavera open. All I have is just my desktop. Now this is the project that I want to import into my Primavera. So what I will do, I will double click to open it. Now because Primavera has been closed, so it's now going to make me to log in like this. I'm opening my Primavera for the first time. So at this point, I just need to go in and type in my password. And then I click on OK. So it's going to start the import process right away. So all I just need to do is just click OK, or click on Next rather. So it's going to give me the option of where to import it. At this point, it's saying import to. So when you click on this box, it's going to open the EPS dialog box for you, asking you to select which EPS you want to import it to. So let's say for the course of this demonstration, let's import it into our practice project EPS, which is the one that we created at the beginning of this series. I will select that and click on the select button. So it's going to import it into the practice project EPS. Then I'll click on next. So this is just in case you want to do some modifications, which I don't want to do. I just want to import it the way it is. So I will click on next. And at this point, it's going to say you are ready to import. To begin, click the finish button. It's my finish button, and I will click on that. Now, if your import is successful, it's going to tell you it's successful. In this case, it is successful, so I will just click on close. Now, automatically, it's going to open that project for me, and it's going to be displaying it in the activity page. But it might react differently depending on the version of pieces that you are using. But at any rate, let me close it and go to my project page, and then let me reopen it from there. You can see, remember we imported the project into our practice project, and that is where you have it here. Now, because Primavera will not have any situation whereby a project ID or a project, an activity ID or even a WBS ID to be the same. So that is the reason why it's numbering it MAG-1 as opposed to MAG-1001. So this is the same project. It's just the difference there is just the project ID. So now I can open it from here. if I want to, and I still have the same schedule. So my advice to you is anytime you finish working on a day and you want to save your project, you can always save it on the desktop or in whatever device you want to save it to replace the older version. So that way, in case you run into an issue with data connection, which sometimes the only option again is for you to uninstall your software and reinstall it. So that way you will not lose your project. You'll be able to save it. So with that, we have completed the exporting and importing demonstration. I hope this has been very helpful. If so, I see you in the next class. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you for being part of this teaching. We hope this video has been very helpful to you. Just a reminder that this is one of the videos in this series, and all the videos are available on this YouTube channel. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section. If you find this video helpful and you're yet to subscribe to our channel, kindly do so by clicking on the subscription button to afford yourself easy access to more videos that are constantly being loaded for the purpose of enhancing your careers. Are you interested in taking the full course for this training? Please visit our website at www.greenlandfoundations.com. You can reach us via email info@greenlandfoundations.com or glandfoundations@gmail.com, as well as communicate with us via phone, text messages, or WhatsApp at area code 281-772-0211. We have live online and remote classes for the following: Primavera P6, Microsoft Project, Microsoft Office Tools, Project Management Professionals, Basic Computer Training, and many more.